So you mentioned you had a wife. How did you meet her?
Yeah, so me and my wife, I met my wife working. We both worked in the Marriott, and she had told somebody she worked with, like, to say something to me. So that's how we met. So we met and we started talking, and we was talking for like a year and a half. And I always had this thing, and I think it was because of what I had went through. Well, first thing was Islam, and I always wanted to be married, right? And then, so in my mind, with Islam, I gotta be married. I don't have a choice.
That's 80% of your covenant.
Yeah, like I got to. So in Islam, it's better. It's almost like it's better to marry, even if it's just for sex. So therefore, you're not fornicating. Committing adultery, or you're fornicating.
Right.
That's how important fornicating. That's how important it is in all religions. But anyway, so I meet my wife. We talk about like a year and some change. And I always had this thing like, man, I'm not gonna play house. No, I'm not gonna have no babies. I gotta come in the house at a certain time. I gotta cut everybody off. We have kids. Everybody got my last name except you. Is that we're gonna be married, or I gotta accept everything come with you? You gotta accept everything come with me. And she was feeling that. And then like a month later, I proposed to her. We was married. So technically, my wife was never my girlfriend. We just messed around.
And then she was your wife.
Yep, and it was June 23rd. It was 6 years. So we had a lot of people that was like, "Oh, dang, who was he? Where he come from? Where she come from?" Because I never was like around the kids because we weren't never together. But we was together all the time. But we just weren't around with kids. We might be together 4 days out the week. So it was really, so you kind of say it was like, but she really technically was never my girlfriend.
Right. So do you feel like your wife take you places that you never could have went yourself?
Yeah.
Because I heard you say earlier on that she supported a lot of the things you wanted to do.
Yeah. She the rock. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff that I got going on now. If you take her out, it won't be going on.
Right. So what are some things you got going on now?
All right. So I told you I started the pressure washing business. I said I just realized the 9 to 5 wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. So once I did that, and that was going on, the next venture after that was the catering. The reason why the catering is so special is because I always wanted to do some of the family business. I just always had this idea in my head, like, when my son or daughter grow up, your first job should be with, you don't gotta go apply nowhere. By the time you go get another job, you probably didn't already know how to do everything. Be accounting, everything, because you do it for your business. Mm-hmm. So I always had it, so I was like, I'm pumped to do that with my wife. And Benzo, we both do it full time.
So who's the cook?
We both do. She make a lot of the sides. She make a lot of sides. I do a lot of the meats. I don't touch her fish. Her fish is perfect. I don't touch the chicken.
Right.
Lamb chops, lasagna, loaded bacon, all that kind of stuff, like the manly kind of stuff. I kind of do.
So how can they find you, as far as for catering, if people are interested? Right. Y'all got social media?
Yeah, we got
accounts?
a business page on Instagram. It's called Juju Service Zero. So it's JUSSERVICE 0. Yeah. So we got a website coming soon. We got an event this Saturday on Woodlawn Drive. We're doing a craft fair. We got a lemonade stand coming up August 20th, in September, and back up August we got a fashion show. So the lady do fashion show that she have in her mansion, and she wanted to cater it. Then we got an event in October for like 400 people with this I think it's a senior citizen center, and we doing that. We rent cotton candy machine, nacho and cheese machine, hot dog machine, snow cone machine. Like we do rentals for those.
So who taught you how to cook?
Life.
Were you cooking in prison?
Just living, of course.
Were you the chef and also the imam, or?
No, I never was imam. But I probably learned how to cook. I mean, I didn't grow up eating carry-out food. My mother always cooked. But in the streets, that's just what you eat.
Right.
You go get a chicken box, cheese steak, quarter-pound special, whatever the case may be.
Right.
You know what I mean? But my mother always cooked.
What's the name of y'all catering?
Oh yeah, so it's Juju's. Or you can find it at Juju Services.
Okay.
So it's different levels of Juju's. We had Juju's pressure washing.
Okay.
That's about to kick back up. We got Juju's transportation. Mm-hmm. We got that stuff. But right now, what it started is the rental, the pressure washing, and the catering. Yeah.
Okay.
So the catering is kind of like the bread and butter right now. So what I learned with stuff like that is not really, you shouldn't really have the idea of starting a business. You should have the idea of starting a brand.
Okay, I like that.
Like, tell me what Mr. Walmart look like. Tell me how many of it is. Tell me what percentage the actual do they own that business. All you know is Walmart and their brand. It don't matter who they is. So that's why I never put, like I was saying before, why I don't put my face. You might not like me. I might be drunk one day at the club, but you might want never order from them. You might just see me scratch my arm, be like, and think me frying fish. And now you want to get, you know what I'm saying? So I don't attach myself with my business. I just work for my business.
Right,
Even if you
right.
call me and say, "Oh, I'll talk to the manager,"
Right.
because people judge people. So you able to recreate yourself with your business and make that business be what you never was able to be.
Right. And
You know what
plus,
I'm
your
saying?
business is separate from you anyway.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and I told my partner in the venture that we do that, you know, we shouldn't be in front of the business. You know what I'm saying? Because
You
you
should
don't
be
want
backing
people
the
to be
business.
like, I don't like that person, so I'm not
Yeah.
watching, or I don't mess. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with that. I
Even just doing this interview, somebody can say the interview, say, "Hey man, why you smoking cigarettes?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, or this person had a drink or some weed, and people will judge you off of it. So
Right.
that's why it's best to always have a brand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How many times when people talk about Apple, they talk about Steve Jobs?
Right.
Never. It's Apple. That's it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A person will never tell you that once upon a time Steve Jobs only owned 1% of Apple.
Do you feel like black people struggle with taking that position within business, as far as, because like we see a lot of Miss Carters, we see a lot of businesses where the owners are in the forefront. Do you feel like that's something that we lack in reference
Well, I
of?
wouldn't say lack because I don't think that's law. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel. But if somebody else doing it, that's great.
Right.
You know, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Trying to think just off the cuff, a business that have a face to it. There's a lot, but I just can't think. But a lot of people do it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you associate the business with the person. You know what I mean? That's why you see Peyton Manning on so many Pizza Hut commercials
Right.
and stuff like that. Because it's time when you can use that person. But if you look at it, the person they're using has built themselves up as a business.
Right.
The people you see on commercials, they done built themselves up so they can represent themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's harder to social media now with all your faults out there. But, you know, so I don't think you have to do that, but if you do that, that's the approach I like to take. Especially being a felon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You would judge me. Just because I'm big.
Right.
Man, this nigga 6'4", 300 pounds. Look
Right.
like he lift the whole yard. Oh man. So what I do, I learned off a show called Black Enterprise. It was a dude. He said the approaches he take because he know the stereotypes against him.
Say that again.
The approach that he take because he know the stereotypes against him. So it's almost like, let's just say, for example, I'm doing an estimate in an older white lady house, and she's in there by herself. When I talk to her, I tend to lean and do my hands like this.
More approachable.
It's fucked up. You got to deal with the society you live in
Right.
because I need you to not feel threatened because I know how I look.
Right. Do you
know what
wear
I'm saying?
certain colors to play on that?
Well, in personal life, I really don't care.
Because
But
I know
in
colors.
business, I always try to be clean cut, presentable. You know what I mean, professional. I don't want you. It's no different between me and Mr. Walmart.
Right, but do you,
You know what
do
I'm saying?
you
That's how I
agree
try.
with certain colors are approachable in business? Because I was told that like
Yeah, that's
being
like
a guy
an
from-
analytic thing. That's like an analytic thing. I mean, but it's real statistics out there.
Right, yeah.
But I never delved in there, looked into that. But
I was always told to wear brighter colors. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I don't fit the typical
because bright is
stereotype.
like alive. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like if you come in somebody's house and they got all black furniture and gray walls. But then you go to somewhere else and they got white house, they got yellow paintings and red this and stuff like that. And it's like it's life. It's
Right.
flowers around. It's life. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You go to somebody, you got bright colors on. I'm giving you a prime example. It was a company that I worked for called College Hunks Hauling Junk. That sounds so corny. But they started in, I think, 2000. They won like a business grant. And about time 2010 came, they've been on Oprah, Millionaire Matchmaker. They got 49 franchises, and this was 2012. So I just imagine where they at now. And on the side of that truck, there's like a cartoon figure like this, and it's orange and green. It's bright. You never miss it. and it goes with what you're saying.
Right.
That draws the attention. Look at it like this. Why do cereal boxes look the way it is?
Right.
Because kids see colors and stuff they want to grab.
Right.
They what's that? It's all the science behind it. It's all the science.
Even like the colors of prisons. You ever heard of
Yeah,
that?
no. When I was locked up in DC jail, we went to the feds. We was painting like the tears and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's psychological why the colors of the walls are the way they are.
Yeah.
But people don't know that.
Yeah.
The color when you if somebody ever been to like the suicide room, the butt naked room, the colors are what it is for a reason.
Yeah.
Cool colors recede and warm colors stand out.
What is it called? What is it called?
Abstract art.
Yeah, abstract art. Yeah.
Expressionism. That's where
Yeah.
a lot of the colors come into.
Like that's why a lot of paintings it don't look like nothing. The $1 million paintings. It like somebody just drew this and threw that.
No, but it's all a system.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like organized chaos. It's like organized chaos. Yeah. It's like if somebody like you keep your dresser drawer so junky. I know everything at. I did that splash that way because I thought of this.
I function in chaos. I really
You learn
do.
to.
Yeah.
You learn to. And but it's funny thing is when you grow up a certain way, that's the norm. And it shouldn't be the norm. You know what I'm saying? And I even had to learn about that with my family and my wife, is that you got to know how to tone the shit down. And that's part of having a family.
Do you find it hard separating who you used to be to who you are now?
Yeah. Because you always thinking, man, this nigga, man, I'm motherfucker. Or just whatever. Oh, man, this bitch, man, she. Hey, you married now, you can't every time you get in an argument, you packing your shit. That's boyfriend shit. That ain't, you can't rock like that. So I had to grow into that, though. You know what I'm saying? I had to grow into that. My wife would catch me on some bullshit. I'm more mad at the way you caught me. Why you going through my phone? But focusing on what I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'll never grow like that.
Right.
You know, so when you got a family, you always got to take that into account. You know what I mean? You got to take everybody's feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard being a black woman, especially a single mom. But bro, it's hard as shit being a black man these days.
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to cry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like that's a misconception though? Because I feel like being a father to a son, I feel like expressing to him to be more open as a man, cry, express your feelings, converse, talk about it.
Right.
Do you feel like that's something that we should do as men?
Yeah, but you got everything in the world working against you.
Right.
Society doesn't say that you should do that as a man. As a black man, you got no time for no mistakes.
Right.
You got no time for no hiccups. The worst thing you can do as a black man is fuck your record up.
Right.
I'll give back my GED if you would take my record.
Right.
Give me a clean record. I ain't got shit. You can drop. I create a box me on the application and say drop out. I check it.
Right.
If you take my record away.
Right. Do you feel like your record hinders you?
Yeah, but it's like I said, you function through chaos.
Right.
So it's kind of like, and to me it don't.
Right.
Because I'm not even gonna apply to be a firefighter.
Right.
I already
right.
know.
But is there something you would potentially want to be rather than just applying? Because, you know, I find a lot of brothers that walk that journey that we walked pretty much taking the self-employment route.
Yeah, because you start behind the 8 ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You already not getting equal wages. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now I'm on my record. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to do something. You know what I mean? To me, I'm a burn out working 2 jobs.
Right.
I'm gonna do that.
And that's what you would have to do in order to survive.
If I can make, if I can work with you, man, and you pay me $25 an hour, and I can work with myself making 18, I'm gonna work for myself.
Yeah, I say that a lot too myself.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna always take the chance on myself. But like we said before, a good reason that is too, because I have a good support system.
Right. I
have a good wife. Now I have good kids, a good mother, sister. Now, if go back to juvenile in jail, if you don't make that right with all the relationships that you hurt, like you said, your mom not understanding. I mean, do you understand now what your mom went through? If you don't get to that point where you can, and sometimes you might not can until you have kids,
right?
And you start to see, when your son or daughter start getting in trouble, and you start to appreciate the little shit they did differently.
Right.
Like, I'm glad my mother didn't raise me up on material shit.
Right.
I'm not one of them niggas. I don't gotta dumb out to go get no Gucci belt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't gotta have some Pradas on my feet. You know what I'm saying? I could just put a t-shirt on, some clean tennis, and be Gucci,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand, and I've learned through my journey of life of what being a man is. Because the most important thing to me is my family.
How do you define a man?
I define a man by making things happen, big or small.
Right.
It don't matter if your girl make more money than you.
Right.
It don't matter if you ain't got it all.
Right.
You can still be a man.
Right.
If you're a real man, you're gonna be a real man whether you up or down.
Right.
You're gonna be considered a man in the household, for example. So I'm talking about family. Right. You're gonna be that. I'm the man in my household. Period.
Do you find yourself apprehensive as a man? Are you vulnerable at times, or?
Of course, and
Okay.
because what I just said is hard being a black man in America. Nobody understands, bro. Nobody look at the Creator, right? Nobody understands. You don't even really understand a man until you understand how he was created.
Right.
I think even if it's just a lot of people or women, for example, understood that they'll understand their men more. Mm-hmm. Not saying make it acceptable for them to cheat or lie, still, whatever the case may be, but I think it'll be they'll understand it more. They'll understand the person more. Like, for example, everybody understand that women are made to be nurturers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, is nobody more tender to that baby than a woman at first? That's just so. If you notice, the same way with just knowing a man.
I was just telling my partner that, two fathers shouldn't be the second mother.
Right.
We should set examples.
It's different.
We should lead paths. We should be
right.
role models.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature.
It's about knowing your role, bro.
Right.
A lot of people don't know their role. A lot of women are beef with a dude. That's like beef with me because I don't do my daughter hair enough.
Right.
Not saying that, if something going on and I can't go and put a little part in the ponytail when that I shouldn't do it. But, you know what I'm saying? That's just not the role. If that's the case, well, then it's your turn when we move to move these dresses then.
Right.
It got to be a role. I inherit that. I got to get the bags.
Right. So you understand the balance in
the
relationship.
And when you understand that, things are, some people try to make life is, and Islam teach you this. Life is not about equality.
Right.
That's a big statement.
Right.
But why life is not about equality? Everything not equal.
Right.
The father's not equal to the son.
Right.
The daughter's not equal to the mother.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything is about, life is about fairness and justice.
Mm-hmm.
Not about equality. Everybody's not equal. Of course, everybody should be respected.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be downplayed or body shamed or whatever, just like the next person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But just the law of nature sets a balance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why should naturally you got a daughter, when she have a period, the mother's going to talk to her.
Right.
That's just naturally.
Right.
Naturally, with my son, he's getting to his first fight. I got to be the one to talk to him.
Right.
And everything when you just let nature takes its course, everything goes right.
So you feel like balance is a pivotal stand ground for a marriage and family and things of that nature?
It gotta be balanced. Because marriage don't last just off love. Friendships don't just last off love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It gotta be compatible. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? But not just compatible, you know what I mean? I gotta, it's like dancing. I gotta know when you step by step.
Right.
It gotta be like that. If not, then it's just like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna last. It never lasts like that. It's almost, it's kind of cliche, like almost like you gotta be each other's best friend. It gotta be deeper than we love each other.
Right.
I care about you. You know what I'm saying? No.
So what's deeper than that? What? I guess I'm asking, what's deeper than love and care?
Everyday situations can be that. I could love you to death, but we beef about the dishes, and it could just be the worst argument we ever had. A lot of that can cause the end of us.
Mm-hmm.
But we can love each other to death.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, in a marriage, I need to know how to let you be the woman of the house,
Right.
but I'm still the man of the house.
Right.
That's hard. I ain't always got that shit figured out, but it gotta be done. How can we not bump heads as the powers of the house or the powers of the family? Even just down to something simple with putting your clothes on your child. Maybe you want to put a dress on your daughter or tennis or boots on your son today. You know what I mean? Just respecting each other's authority. You know what I mean? It's something small I read in a marriage book one time. Like, sometimes, say like you and your girl go out, you and your wife go out, and you always like, yeah, let's go here. It be something small like if you never let your girl pick me up on you. Something stupid. I mean, when I got locked up, you know, the first thing my wife said she noticed, like me just not being there, every time I go to a store, I gotta fucking walk. Because she used to be dropping her off at the front of the store with the kids. I might park, smoke a cigarette, come in.
Right.
Just something that small that you learn to appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That shit goes a mile away.
So you say you're a father. What's the ages? How many children?
So I got 2 stepchildren. One about to be 21, one 15. My biological children, I got a 5-year-old, or about to be 5 in December, and I have a 2-year-old. My 5-year-old is autistic.
Right.
What's that like having a child with disabilities?
It's tough, man. It's tough, especially at that young age. You know what I'm saying? It's not ego striking to you. You know, some people, they just be in denial. It never was like that to me. I always had the ability, because of what I went through in life, just as like, man, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? On to the next. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and oh, I'm locked up. No, fuck it, man. But shit, at least I come home this time. Because it's already, the more you accept your reality, the easier things will be for you.
Right.
It's tough, it's challenging, but specifically her with autism, because she's considered nonverbal. So she don't talk as much as an almost 5-year-old would talk. So sometimes it's frustrating. Because she can use that and say, Bassine, and pointing and crying because you ain't getting. But the whole time, I told you no more juice.
Right.
But she ain't pointing to the juice, she just needs some tissue with her nose on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's frustrating. And sometimes in a marriage that causes friction, because you always gotta make time for you. But with a special needs child, it's always 24 hours when you at that stage anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough, but it's like it kind of make me, if that's a allowable phrase, like, because you should be able to love your child more, you should love your child, but it don't like it make me love her more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because she got autism.
Or not more, just differently.
Yeah, different. Yo,
So what is your biggest fear as a father?
as a father,
Or what is your biggest fear in general?
well, I answer both of them. My biggest fear as a father is my children getting hurt. I can accept them falling or getting in a fight, even getting jumped. But my biggest fear is them getting hurt, and I can't do nothing about it or stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my biggest fear. Like, my child getting chased by a dog and getting bit, and I'm locked in the house, or it's just something crazy, and I can't get to her. Like, that's like my biggest fear.
So what's your biggest fear? Is Yoshi?
Well,
What's Yoshi's biggest fear?
Yoshi really don't exist for her.
What is Steven's biggest
Yeah,
fear?
what's Steven's biggest fear?
Just not being comfortable. Now, what is comfortable just depends on the person.
Right. So what do you do to not get comfortable?
What I do to not get comfortable,
Yeah, to not.
but just don't be content. It's like I'm always. Now, I'm not trying to be a gazillionaire. I'm not trying to be, have the biggest brand and nothing like that. But it's just, well, as the economy go, your comfort changes.
True.
You know what I mean? You might say, I always want to make $50,000.
Right.
But now it's like $50,000, but that ain't. You still like the lower class. I don't even know if you still consider middle class to make $50,000 in today's society. So it's like, I just want to be comfortable and whatever in my marriage as a father. But I understand that it is ruckus and comfortability, so I embrace it.
Right.
So that makes me easy to be content.
So you learn how to be comfortable in those uncomfortable situations.
Yeah. Like when you start
Yeah, you
going,
find comfort.
when you go through certain things in life, it's like it don't take a lot to please you. It's like being in jail a long time. You notice, like, baby, you eat that nasty shit, or you eat anything. Like, shit, it ain't been fucking 10 years. Shit.
Right. Real shit. Shit on the shingle and shit.
Like,
Right.
Shit on it.
You ate the noodle and you put that nasty fish in there. Like, shit, this was motherfucking the peanut butter jelly in there.
Right.
This was the back in the day mayonnaise sandwiches. This was that. This was the go-to meal. So it's like that. Prison showed me that, yo, you can get used to anything.
Right.
I don't give a fuck if you had to eat shit for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. After a while, you get used to it.
Right.
You know, you get used to anything. You might go like this all day. After a while, you don't even feel that shit. Or
Right.
if you got like an alarm out, you hear the beat. After a while, I was like, I don't even hear it. Somebody like, what's that thing you beat, man? Yeah, I don't even hear that shit no more. So you can get used to anything. That's what makes us different from animals. A polar bear can't go in Africa and live. A fish can't get out the water and live. You know what I'm saying? But we could put a coat on. We know how to make fur. We know how to build. You know what I'm saying? We can do those. That's what makes us different. You know what I'm saying? Our ability to cope with everything and to keep evolving and to keep thriving and to keep pushing and not just staying the same. And because it's if you the same person you was 5 years ago, like, so what's different?
Right.
If
Do
you
you
the
feel
same
like your
person you was 5 years
circumstances
ago,
push you to that?
huh?
Do you feel like your circumstances push you to that?
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it circumstance. I would just call it life. It's just life. You just go through stuff. It's like certain things you might not go through till in your 30s. There's certain things you might not go through till your 50s.
Right.
Certain things you don't go through when you rent a house versus your homeowner. You're not gonna have experience on what happened to your roof. You got a hole in your roof.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like when you go through life and you know it's just life, man. Life is tough. Life is tough.
So what's the end game?
Comfortability. It's just being comfortable. Being me as a father, as a husband, you know, as a son, brother, whatever. Just being able to look at whatever I consider my circle and that they comfortable. That's it.
So we'd like to thank you for coming through.
Thank you
This
so
is
much.
Yoshi. This is Yoshi, Stephen, formerly known as Yoshi. Like to thank you for coming through, bro.
Thank you.